Hi there, I'm Martin Jennings, the race director for the Enervit Peterborough Marathon. Obviously with the COVID regulations and the staggered start, we can't have a traditional race safety briefing, so we're going to do this one by video. If you could just take a couple of minutes to listen through it, it'd be very much appreciated. It is part of the race day and it's an important element from a safety perspective. Okay, before we start, just a quick shout out to our sponsors, Brooks, Ron Hill Aftershocks, and of course our title sponsor, Enervit Sports Nutrition. So a massive thanks go to them. Without that support, we simply couldn't put the race on. Also, a big thank you to you guys for entering. We've got a huge field this year and some really quick runners as well, so it should be a fabulous race. So the course itself is obviously a hard standing course. It's either on pathways or road, and it's a beautiful course. It starts in Neame Park, Ferry Meadows, runs along the old steam railway and along the riverbank into the city past the cathedral, and then heads its way back up to Neame Park again. So obviously we're running this race under COVID secure conditions, and everyone will be set off individually. You'll be called into the start area based on your bib number, and your bib number has been allocated based on your predicted finish time at the point of entry, or if you've updated it recently. So being an individual start, you'll obviously be given a chip time. There won't be a gun time, it will just be chip time, and the chip time will be the time it takes from when you leave the start area to when you return. So it's likely to take between half an hour and an hour to get everyone over the start line, but it will make no difference at all in terms of your actual race time. The results themselves will be live, and that will come through on your mobile phone or any web device, and it will list your position both in terms of your gender and your category, but of course because of the nature of the start, it is possible that you'll have people run a faster time that come in behind you, so just be aware of that and keep an eye on the results throughout the day. As you run along the riverbank and through Neame Park, you'll see there's lots of trees on the course, very beautiful, but can drop twigs and leaves which will clear in the morning of course, but just be mindful there might be some that could cause a trip or slip hazard. Also there will be park users. We do have the right of way through Neame Park on the sections we use, but there could be dog walkers or cyclists. We'll have lots of race makers there calling out to let people know you're coming, etc. So we don't envisage a problem, but just be mindful. Likewise, when you cross the railway lines, just watch your footing. And there is a bridge called Bluebell Wood Suspension Bridge in Neame Park that will oscillate a little bit as you run over it. It won't cause a problem, but just making you aware of it. There's a few changes as a result of the COVID situation. We advise you to take your own nutrition. There will be Enervit gels on the course, but from a COVID perspective, obviously taking your own gels will reduce the risk of transmission. We will ask you to leave very shortly after finishing the event. We know that this is a time when everyone really likes to socialise and talk about the race, etc. But from a COVID plan, it's a big part of our mitigation is to prevent that happening, sadly. As a result, there won't be an awards ceremony. We'll do a virtual prize giving online, and again we do encourage you to bring as few spectators or support as you can, and again we would ask you to bring your own refreshments wherever possible. We do have a baggage section, but we're actually naming it an emergency baggage section because we really do encourage you to use your own vehicle to store your bag. It will be within a few hundred yards of the start and finish line, so it will be very, very convenient, and of course it will be safe in your car. For those that are not coming by car or can't do that, we will have an emergency baggage area, but we really do want to try and keep that to a minimum if at all possible, please. In terms of facilities on the course, there will be water stations that will have bottled water and Enervit gels for you to collect. They won't be handed to you, they'll be spaced out ready for you to grab on your way past. From a COVID perspective, we do encourage you to carry your own water. However, there will be water laid on for you for those that don't do that. As a result of COVID, we're not going to take the caps off the bottles. We're going to leave the bottles sealed so that we don't touch the top of the bottle. It does mean that you'll have to undo the lid yourselves on your run, and it also increases the risk of you dropping a lid. Please take extra care not to do that. Part of the reason for leaving you with a lid is that you can put it back on and continue to run with the bottle. But we do operate a zero tolerance litter policy, so if anyone is seen littering, even a cap from the lid, that would be from us, that would breach our zero tolerance. So please be extra careful. We do run through the most beautiful parts of Peterborough, and it's really important to us that when we've gone, nobody knows we've been there. That's really important. So in terms of discarding the bottles and the caps and the gel wrappers, there will be, shortly after each water station, there'll be big bags, but we're also going to put at every mile marker another big bag for you guys to drop in, so that you know there's one coming. If you want to take the water with you further than a few hundred metres after the water station, you can run with it and then know that as soon as you get to the next mile marker, there'll be the opportunity to dispose of it there. There's also toilets, lots of toilets in the start finish area of course, and there will be the odd toilet dotted about on the course for anyone that needs them. They'll be signposted in advance. One or two of them are very slightly off the course, but if you keep your eyes open for the signs, you will see them. From a medical perspective, you would have hopefully filled in the details when you entered the race. It's equally as important, probably more important actually, to complete the form on the back of your bib. Even if you don't have any medical conditions at all, that's very useful for us to know that if there is an incident. If you do have any medical conditions whatsoever, we do ask you just to put a red X on the front of your bib, just a small one, subtly, so that we know to look immediately if there's any incident. So if you're not feeling well on the day, or you have any kind of issue whatsoever, please make yourself known to the nearest marshal, or indeed one of the medical crew, and they will look after you. If you see a marshal, it will be called through to race control and a medic will be sent out to you. So everything's in hand, but please don't suffer alone. Likewise, if you decide not to complete the race, just make yourself aware to one of the race makers and marshals. They will radio it through and we'll come and collect you to bring you back to the race village. So moving on to race makers, we have a team of over 200 race makers that allow us to put this event on. Many of them starting at midnight to put the signage out. So it's a huge effort from lots of volunteers to put this event on. So from Sublime Racing and all of the team here, massive thank you. From a runner's perspective, probably the most important thing to bear in mind is that these guys are volunteering their time to keep you safe. Primarily their role is one of safety. They will be there to encourage you, they'll be there to guide you in direction and to keep you on course, but their overriding responsibility is to keep you safe. As a result, we ask that you obey their instructions to the letter. In the exceptionally unlikely event where they're concerned for your safety with the vehicle, they will ask you to stop. It's never happened yet, but they are all prepared to do that to keep you safe, and it is absolutely imperative that you obey any instruction. If they shout out to you stop, stop. There are several sections on the course where we have professional traffic management that do have the capability of stopping the traffic, for example across Thorpe Road, but again, obey their instructions, cross when you're told to, and please don't take any chances. In terms of headphones, we don't allow headphones on any race where even a small part of the course is on open roads. However, we do accept open ear bone conduction type, so aftershocks type headphones are fine. We will have professional photographers on course and at the finish line, and there will be thousands of photos for you to enjoy and download. They will be available to you free of charge. We'll put them on our Facebook page. Please give us some time to do that. We often get lots of emails asking where the photos are straight after the race, and it does take us time to upload them, so please bear with us and our photographers. We need to get the images to us for us then to upload onto Facebook. But they will be there, and they will be there free of charge for you to download and use and share, etc. So once you've completed your race, the results will be live on your mobile phone. So we will, after the event has finished and everyone's come home, we will send you an email with your time. We won't send that until everyone's home, in case somebody comes in with a quicker time with you in your age or your category or your gender. So as you cross the line, you can go on to sublimeracing.com/live, and that will give you your live current result. So it will tell you where you are overall, it will tell you where you are in your gender and in your category. But as mentioned earlier, be mindful that somebody behind you may have run a faster time and pip you within your category, so it's worth keeping an eye on that throughout the day. So I think that covers just about everything. I would like to say on behalf of Sublime Racing, thank you so much for your support and patience and understanding with what we've had to go through over the last 18 months or so, with postponements, and obviously COVID has caused us all sorts of problems and lots of people in worse situations than us, but it certainly hit the events industry very hard, and it's just lovely to be opening up again and to have such a big field of runners that have stayed with us and supported us. It means the world. So on behalf of everyone at Sublime, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you on the day, and we hope you have a fabulous race.